Rutgers hosts Ohio State Sunday, 2 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. The final regular season game of the season, senior day at the rack. 8 seniors walking, being honored. Pre-game, we have Cliff Omori, Andre Hyatt, Mawat Mag, Oscar Palmquist, Noah Fernandez, Austin Williams, and then 2 walk-ons, Aiden Terry and Zach Hain. Always an emotional day. Rutgers 15-15 coming in, 7-12 in the Big Ten. Obviously, a huge opportunity for them. They face Ohio State team that's now won 4 of 5 since Chris Holtman's been fired. One of those wins, though, just one true road win all season coming in that stretch. They won at Michigan State, which is extremely impressive. They've played a lot better defense under Diebler, Jake Diebler, the interim head coach. Offensively, they have some weapons. A big key in the first matchup with Rutgers and Ohio State in Columbus earlier in the season, a game in which Rutgers was way down. I think it was 18 or 19. They cut it to one possession, lost by 4. Was three-pointers in that game. Ohio State was 11 of 24 in that first meeting. Rutgers, it was a 76-72 Ohio State. They were 11 of 24 from 3. Rutgers was just 6 of 24. That's a 15-point spread. They lose by 4. Looking back on it, that really was a game that Rutgers needed. And Ohio State was really rolling at the time and fell apart pretty much after that game. So similarly to last year, this is an important game just in sense of, pride. Rutgers is 15-15. If you can win this game, you finish the regular season with a winning record. You have a chance. You're already set, now for the 12-13 game in the first round of the Big Ten tournament. You'll either play Maryland or Penn State. But if you can win on Sunday and then you win that 12-13 game, you guarantee a winning record, which, that matters. That matters. It'd be the 5th consecutive season with a winning record. In terms of NIT hopes, they're, pretty minuscule at this point. I think if you do beat Ohio State and then win that 12-13 game, yes, there's a chance. But I'm looking at pride right now, and I'm looking at this team. Listen, things obviously have not gone the way that anyone wanted. But this really is a likable senior group. Oscar Palmquist, coming back, he's done a lot for the program. He's been the consummate teammate. He's just universal praise from everyone within the program on Oscar Palmquist. He's had some moments. He's stepped up and he's made some plays. He's hit some shots. By all accounts, he's a A+ person. So you have to be happy for him. Ron Harper Jr. is actually walking out with him. His family's in Sweden. Did not make the trip. He walked last year too. So he had arrived the second semester of the 1920 season. So this is actually his 9th semester. And the media met with everybody on Friday. I was unable to make it, but no one obviously committed to anything in terms of their future plans. And you can't expect that at this point. But Mawat Mag has not played. I don't expect him to play. But his future unknown. But it's still has meant so much to this program in his time. So all these guys deserve big ovations on Sunday. Obviously, Cliff, what a 4 years he's had. Been up and down this season, no doubt. But still one of the best defensive players in the country. Has had his moments offensively, but is the first in his family to get a degree. He talked about that with the media on Friday, and he's just in talking to myself personally over the years. He's just a really friendly, sweet guy, and he's extremely likable. So it's always sad, and I think, Austin Williams and Noah Fernandez, even though they maybe didn't have the impact they wanted, both have had good careers in their own rights, had a ton of injuries. I think that it's, impacted them both. Austin Williams was talking about having to drain his knees every week. Noah Fernandez had, fractures in his foot last year. He hasn't said this, but I don't know. I just feel like that's between that and he had an injury in his hand. I wonder if he is 100% in terms of what he was before those injuries. Not saying he's hurt, but just in terms of having, full use of your capabilities. And he has a 1-year-old son. So, these guys are, they're people, and it's easy to criticize and jump all over him on social media. But, for someone that's followed the program pretty closely over the years, this is certainly a moment where you hope that they get, a great ovation and that they can end their home careers at the rack with a win. Um, in terms of Andre Hyatt, his 3 years at Rutgers, I mean, he has made some big plays. He's had some big moments. He's he's done anything that's been asked of him. He's played multiple roles. I mean, I still remember those 2 free throws he hit at Indiana 2 years ago when Mulcahy got ejected because he fell for the Xavier Johnson bait. Hyatt came in cold off the bench and knocked down 2 huge free throws. Everyone, of course, remembers Ron Harper's huge 3, but I remember Andre Hyatt's 2 free throws off the bench. That was monster. Even last year, I mean, at Wisconsin, when Caleb McConnell, was a late scratch, Hyatt changed his role and played inside in the 4. It just was, fantastic in that game, a 1-point win, had that tip in. So, he's done a lot. He's played different roles. He's been a leader. And you have to tip your cap to him. And, Aiden Terry's been entertaining off the bench. Zach Haynes just had that huge bucket recently in that win over Michigan. So, all these guys are likable, and I just hope that they get a great moment on Sunday. And how are they going to win? So, Ohio State is hot. They haven't played in a week, though. I think that helps Rutgers. They're coming off that Thursday night loss, obviously a disappointing loss, but they played well for 26 minutes and then, 20 minutes. They were up 7 with 14 to go, and it fell apart from there. I think the biggest thing with this team that we've seen when the wheels start to come off is they start to play a little bit too much ISO ball, hero ball. They get impatient. They stop sharing the basketball. They miss back-to-back shots, and it impacts their defense. And, other teams get on game-killing runs, and that can't happen. So can it prevent from happening on Sunday? Of course, they're going to have the crowd in their back pocket. The rack crowd that's going to want every reason to explode in this game. In terms of what Ohio State does well, they're 8th in the Big Ten in offensive efficiency, and they are 12th defensive efficiency. Although I have mentioned, they are better defensively under Diebler. They played more connected. They've been tougher. But overall, Ohio State, they're not a good 3-point shooting team in Big Ten play, just 32%. Rutgers just under 30%. They're 12th and 13th, respectively. Ohio State is tremendous from the foul line. They're shooting close to 79% in league play from the foul line. So defending without fouling, of course, is going to be huge. It's really hurt Rutgers at times when other teams get into the bonus early, take advantage of it. Rutgers has been a poor free throw shooting team at home. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do in this game. But, in terms of and the other thing, too, is that Ohio State doesn't foul. They're 3rd in free throw rate defensively in terms of not sending teams to the line. And then just in terms of rebounding, Ohio State is not a great rebounding team. They're not good at keeping opponents off the glass. They're about average. They don't force turnovers. So that is good for Rutgers, who, was not careful with the ball at all in the loss to Wisconsin. And in terms of just offensive rebounding, like I mentioned, that's going to be huge. But turnovers, yeah. I mean, Ohio State is pretty good at not turning it over. We know Rutgers is tops in the conference in forcing turnovers, so that's going to be key. Rutgers, all the talk about fast pace, they have been very good in transition. They just haven't been able to do enough of it. I think this is a game you're going to see more of the press. I think Pikiell's going to want to speed Ohio State up a little bit in terms of possession length. Ohio State likes to play slow. They have in Bruce Thornton, he is a load at point guard. He's a tough guy to defend. In terms of their 3-point shooters, Jamison Battle, we know, has killed Rutgers for years. He's shooting 44% nationally for the season, 43.6. Nobody else is too effective. And Scotty Middleton gets a little bit of run. He's at 41%. This is a team that is they have a lot of length. And Rutgers has to be able to close out on shooters. They can't let Battle get hot. Roddy Gale is really good inside. Bruce Thornton, they can't let him get downhill. Defensively, I think you'll see Rutgers mix up some looks. I think that just in terms of matchups, Jeremiah Williams obviously did not play in that first meet. He's going to be huge in that game. I think he might match up with, Roddy Gale. In terms of battle, is Hyatt going to get him? We'll see. But someone's got to defend him. I think, listen, it's going to be intriguing. I mean, Gavin Griffiths has played better defense lately. So I'm looking for him to get some, a big opportunity in this game. I don't think he's going to start. I think you'll get a senior starting, maybe a couple changes there. Maybe Michael Davis comes off the bench in this instance. They start Austin Williams on senior day. We'll see. But everybody's got to just play within themselves. That was a big part of the loss against Wisconsin is everyone sped up. They were out of control. And again, I don't think it was a lack of effort in that they gave up. I think they were just completely out of sorts. They weren't and they had no cohesiveness on either end of the floor. And they just got beat. They got broken down really badly defensively. Because they were so out of control. And, even Jeremiah Williams is falling down all over the place. Their backcourt, they can't have it for, a combination of Derek Simpson, Jeremiah Williams, and Austin Williams combined for 13 turnovers in that game against Wisconsin. Derek Simpson had a huge game against Ohio State. He was 7-11 from 2-point range, probably his best game of the season from 2-point range. So, is there something repeatable in this game that he can do that they had in that matchup? But I want to see this team rise to the moment, play within themselves, play together, play hard, stay connected defensively, share the basketball offensively. It's not rocket science, take advantage of second chance opportunities, get out in transition off of turnovers and defensive rebounds when you can. Pico's going to play a lot of guys in this game, I think. And who's going to be a spark? Noah Fernandez shot well against Ohio State that first game. We know he has the ability to get hot from three. He was really hot going into the Wisconsin game, and then the Wisconsin game in Nebraska. He cooled off a little bit, but I would like to see him have his last game at the rack play well. He was just 0 of 3 from the floor from three the last game. So I really think this team's going to play loose. I think they're going to, I think as disappointing as things have been, I think that you're going to see good attitudes out there on Sunday and a team that, has an opportunity to end the regular season on a positive note and finish with 16 wins or winning regular season and go from there. Get ready for Wednesday. And, whether it's Maryland or Penn State, we'll happen to play each other on Sunday night. So we'll know then. There's a little chance to end on, not a little chance, there's a chance for Rutgers to end on a positive note. And that's all you can ask for at this point. So if they can put together back-to-back wins, guarantee a winning season, there would be a certain level of satisfaction there. Obviously, they wouldn't be achieving the goals that all of us, including them, wanted to achieve, but it's something. It matters to people that care about this program. And for these guys' sakes, I hope they go out and play well. And I know they'll have plenty of support from the Rutgers faithful. Have been fantastic all season. I'll be back after the game, 2 p.m. on BTN. And I'll be back with my rapid reaction after the game. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll talk to you then.